welcome back to the show. Yes, we're looking at dreams today. We're looking at how detrimental it is not to dream and how detrimental it is to have a dream and not give birth to that dream. And we have the amazing Omenesa Komolafe, aka Lady O, and she's just talking to us a bit about that. We were looking at a particular syndrome before we went on the break, and I think that's what's the name of that syndrome? Imposter
It's
syndrome.
imposter
That's
syndrome.
it. We got it. Okay. No, because that is so important. And it's something that the best of us go through. It just shows up its ugly head every now and then and says, where are you going? Where are you
Yeah.
going?
What exactly are you doing? Sit down, please.
Uh
You
huh.
don't know it.
Uh
You don't
huh.
know what you're doing.
And sometimes we listen to that. There's that fear, like you said, the fear of success. It's like, can I really do this? When you take a look at how big that dream is, because it's supposed to scare you and it can be heartbreaking. It can be scary, like me, this little me. But it's detrimental, as you said. It's when we decide to allow that to weigh us down. And instead of using the fear, as you said, as energy to move forward, to launch out into the deep. Well, I want to ask you, what is one important thing with everything you've been through, with everything you're going through, with everything that you are experiencing, with the music you've come forth? Very powerful. And if you haven't listened to that, I really encourage you. It's a powerful video, What Nothing Happens in the Grave. You want to check that out on YouTube. I don't know if the album has been released, but I watched it and they got me pinching myself again. I thought I was doing something. It just woke me up like, okay, girlfriend, wake up. This world is waiting for you, and I know that it will inspire you also if you're listening out there. So, with all this, Lady O, what can you
Yeah.
say one important thing life has taught you?
Well, the album is actually out. So just type Nothing Happens in the Grave, Omenesa, and that is my fourth album. So you'll be able to see it. And thank you so much for bragging on me. But one important thing that life has taught me is that life is short. And I think that because I work in the nursing sector, I also took care of my mother before she died. And now I'm a family caregiver to my father, who is in his late 70s. I understand, and I am an only child. I understand the sting of loss. And I have happened to lose 8 embryos from failed IVF, failed IUI, miscarriage, and all that. So I understand what loss is and how quickly that can happen, literally in a twinkling of an eye. And so what keeps me going is that I know that life is short. And I have to give account. And and because my life is not like that of a bottle of milk. The privilege of milk is that milk knows when it's going to expire. Milk knows when it's going to die. It is told from the very first day that it was made. It was already told when it will be dead. And so that's the advantage that milk has. We don't have that advantage. So we've been put on here and we don't know when we will expire, which is really the word that we use in the hospital. We don't say that the patient died. We say that the patient expired. And anything that expires means that it has a timeline and means that it has a deadline. And so the reason why you need to hurry up and work with fear and trembling is because you don't know the day or the hour. You don't know when you will expire. And so because I don't know when I'm going to expire, and I am in front of death almost every day, working in a hospital, working in the nursing home, I am literally scared and to not go to heaven, be called home empty handed. So
That's a
I try to do as much as I am supposed to do. Procrastination is out of it. If I have to delegate and call people and hire so and so to do this, then that's what we're going to do.
that's a good kind of scare. It's a good kind of scare to
A
constantly
very
have.
healthy scare.
Very healthy. And I love the words you use. It just kind of wakes you up when you hear certain words, expire. We say, oh, okay, you even sometimes I think the word die is kind of like, overused, but hearing that expire, like, gosh, I'm expired. It's all over. What have I done? You know, and it's a beautiful example knowing that, like you said, milk, we know when it's going to be expired. But what about us? We don't know that. We don't have that luxury. And the more reason to be awake, to be conscious. Whatever decision you have to make now, make it now. Don't put it off. Don't procrastinate. That's some of the things we have to do as women, taking charge of our lives, being in the driver's seat of our financial lives, so that, you know, looking down the road, you can look back and say, yes, I did it, I made it, and you can live the abundant life that you really want to live. Omenesa, what would you say to a woman who's been torn apart? You know, we have different stories. You shared a little bit about some of the things that you've been through, and everyone has a story. And sometimes I say women, sometimes our stories are so much more than we really have interesting things that have been through to us, happened to us. Some of them we don't even share. And some of them we hold back. We're afraid to even let it known. And it's just something we believe it's our cross. And we're scared to dream. You know, it's happened so many times in such deep levels that you don't even want to bring your head up again. You don't want to try. What would you say to a woman like that who's like, I don't know, I don't know.
Well, for a woman like that, for me who has been married, I'll be 11 years next week. And the reason why I'm bringing marriage into this is because a lot of women who are really struggling to rise up are either married or they have been through some form of abuse, either childhood abuse or present abuse, even abstract of marriage or abuse in marriage. And so what that does is it debilitates them, and it weakens them from hmm, it weakens them. I'm trying to choose my words. It weakens them from flying.
Mm.
But let me tell you this, lady. Look, you already had wings, right? Before you got married.
You frozen again.
Somebody clipped them, or maybe somebody put something heavy on the wings, but you still have
Mm.
wings. So you have to remember to fly. You were
Mm.
born to fly. You are not a chicken. You were born to fly.
Mm.
And if they cut off your wings, like, you wouldn't even be here. So
Mm.
that's not even part of it. It seems like your wings are cut off, but they're not, because you're still alive.
Mm.
So, first of all, you have to realize that you do have wings.
Mm.
You do. You have wings. And now you have to have the boldness to fly. Why? Because you deserve it. You deserve it. You too are important. That man, that boss, those children that you've put in front
Mm.
of everything, that you have prioritized,
Mm.
it's okay to do that, but it's not okay for you to forget yourself.
Right.
It's not okay to be loyal to everybody and then
Mm.
you are disloyal to yourself.
Mm.
You got to think about you too.
Mm.
You are important too. So when you are fine,
Mm.
when you are sound, when you are happy, when you are okay, then everybody is okay. And you know what? This will also make me question the love and the attention and the gifts and everything that you give everybody else when you are not okay.
Mm.
Because if you're giving me something from a sick place,
Mm.
then you're really not even giving me all of yourself. So why don't you just calm down and gather yourself by
Mm.
loving yourself, first of all? How do you love yourself? By constantly telling yourself that you were created to be here for a purpose. You find what that purpose is and you run with it and you fly with it and you believe it and you eat it all up. You become your parents, you become your mother, you become your father, you become your sister, your brother. You parent yourself. You answer to God and you answer to yourself.
Mm.
You self-reflect. You pour love on yourself. You become sound and you become whole and you become centered. The moment you get to that place, there is nothing you can't do.
Absolutely awesome, amazing, amazing.
There's nothing you can't do. I've been there. There is nothing you cannot do. By the time that you lose your fear of losing that person, you see, you lose the codependence.
Mm.
There is a difference from love and codependence. By the time that you lose that fear, when you have codependence, you have substance. You don't have love. That's not love. Okay, so that's like taking a drug. When your children become a drug, your husband becomes a drug, your job becomes a drug, that's no longer love or passion. That's substance. That's a defense mechanism.
Mm.
You're running away from something. You're just using all of those mediums and all of those things. When you get to the point when you can actually lose all of those things and you're still happy, then that's love.
I feel like saying
That's the
amen.
difference.
That was so well said. So well said. Absolutely. It's important for women to find ourselves. It's easy to hide in everything and everybody else. And we've lost who we are. And there's a way that I think I heard this somewhere. It says, well, we all say, my cup runs over. But it's what's in the cup is mine. What runs over is yours. So there has to be something in the cup for me. So it's important to fill your cup, and then from there, let it run over to everyone else.
Yes.
You are an amazing woman, an amazing speaker. There's just so much to. I just feel life bubbling all around you, even though you're
Thank
not
you.
here. But I feel the presence of just your words and the power in those words. A woman like you, how do you relax, unwind, refill your cup?
A woman like me, I love relaxing. So that television is going to be on as soon as we're done with this interview. Um, I get myself thrown into series. Um,
Mm.
I barely watch a movie straight through. I love the series because it keeps me coming. I love massages. I play a game called Candy Crush. I have a coloring book that I color in at least 3 times a week because that opens. Yes, I watch cartoons. I watch one cartoon a week at least. I love swimming. I love snorkeling. I travel weekly to either a different country or to a different city. Um, and I take care of my father, which gives me so much love. I listen to my husband, which is therapeutic, and let me tell you why. As a woman, like because I'm such a type A personality, and I have been type A for a very, very long time. By the time I got used to self actualization, and by the time I started to love myself, I lost
It's frozen.
trying to be right as a wife. And so when I lost that, I completely lost all of that darkness that comes with that and the weight that comes with that. So just being able to just be on the phone with him and just not talking and actually having a conversation without having to be right, that's also very therapeutic for me.
I lost the first part. I think you froze. You said when you have the conversation with your husband, what was it that you said that you actually lost?
Yes, I said that we boss ladies, women who are all type A and very, very strong women,
Right,
some of us have suffered from having to be right
right.
and approaching everything with so much energy and so much venom. And that actually causes a certain type of darkness in your soul and in
Right.
your demeanor.
I think.
And so, as I have grown as a woman in Christ, and grown as a businesswoman, I have actually weaned myself off of those things, which makes it so comfortable and so light for me to have a conversation with my husband. So, it's very therapeutic for me when I'm able to just not be right,
Right.
even if I am right. But I've completely lost that desire to be right. And that's very
Wow.
therapeutic for me.
That's very freeing. I can just feel you flying. That's a good place to be. And as women,
Very,
very, very.
very, very freeing and very powerful.
Mm, mm,
Very powerful. As a woman, that's a big secret.
mm,
When you have so many weapons and you choose not to use them,
mm.
ooh,
The nothingness
That
of that, that's a space called nothing. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful.
exactly, like you've
Oh,
hit the jackpot when you
mm,
don't have the desire to tear yourself up or tear
mm.
anyone up, you know?
And once again, it starts from the self. When you're okay with you, you'll be okay with anybody else. Oh, Manessa, you have been such a powerful speaker today. I want to thank you for the energy that you have poured into this show and to the lives all over the world that your words, what you're doing, the space that you hold, the light that you shine. I want to thank you so much for just lifting up those hands and just being the blessing that you are. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. It's still Women Making Money right here. I'm Money Making Martha. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with our second guest, who is an amazing woman making money, but she is daring to live her dreams. Stay tuned.